Oklar. Oh my Oklar. Okay. PDF file. I don't like saying. I feel like the word PDF file got ruined. When people start saying stuff like pedophile, stuff like, and it was a shortened version for. It got shortened to PDF file. I just don't like that. Um, I think it ruined. I think it ruined just saying PDF. It ruined it terribly. Just open this document. Just drag it past. There you go. Earl, I don't know. Earl 46 Module 1. It's only 7 pages. Program statements, parent handbooks, policies, and procedures. Program statement. Every licensee must develop a program state that is consistent with the ministry policy statement on programming and pedagogy, and must review the program statement at least annually. The program statement should, at minimum, include the following items: consistency with how does learning happen, a few reflective of children being competent and capable, a minimum of one goal for each of the following: promote the health, safety, nutrition, and well-being of the children, to support positive and responsive interaction among children, parents, child care providers, and staff. 3. Encourage the child or children to interact and communicate in a positive way and support their ability to self-regulate. Foster the children's exploration, play, and inquiry. Let's see what point I'm at. I'm at point 4. Point 5, provide child-initiated and adult-supported experiences. Point 6, plan for and create positive learning environments and experiences in which each child's learning and development will be supported. 7, incorporate indoor and outdoor play as well as active play, rest, and quiet time into the day, and give consideration to the individual needs of the children. What point? I'm losing track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Foster the engagement of an ongoing communication with parents about the programs and their children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Involve local community partners and allow those partners to support children, their families, and staff. 10. Support staff, home child care providers, or others who interact with the children in relation to continuous professional learning. I think 11. Document and review impact of above strategies on children and their families. And lastly, describe the approaches that will be implemented in the program to achieve the goal. When developing your program statement, reflect on your program. Examine how your program current philosophy, policies, and practices reflect the view of the child outlined in HDLH. I think it is how do children learn, or how does learning happen? I think. Okay, examine how your program current philosophy, policy, and practice reflect the 4 foundation in HDLH, and outline how your program will reflect these foundations. Consider the services offered and described in your program statement. What makes the child care program unique? Collaboratives. Have conversations with other licensed child care programs and with learning communities to gather ideas, examples, and strategies. 2 is going to be engage in intentional conversations about what is happening or what you want to happen in your program. Reflect on why these practices are important and how they impact children. Lastly, for this section, it is engage with others with various perspectives, example, parents, students, staff, volunteer, use a collective and collaborative approach. Well, what's a collective approach and what's a collaborative approach? What are the like distinctions between both terms? It looks like they're just being used ubiquitously, but I think I'm using that word correctly. But I'll look for a definition. A collective approach involves many individuals or entities working towards a common goal or shared objective, often by aggregating their individual efforts, while a collaborative approach emphasizes a deep, more integrated joint effort between distinct entities that coordinate their unique skills and resources to solve a complex problem or create a shared product. The core difference is that a collective approach focuses on some of individuals' actions, or collaborative approach focuses on the synergistic interactions between different parts to achieve a greater outcome than any single entity could on its own. Okay. Collaborative approach definition: the aggregation and coordination of numerous individual efforts and perspective towards a shared outcome or problem. Focus: harnessing the power of many by leveraging diverse individual contribution and creating a unified community-wide action. Nature: bottom up, allowing individuals to contribute their unique insights and perspectives, which are then pooled. Example: a community-wide initiative to reduce litter, where many individuals commit to cleaning specific areas, each in their own way. Collaborative approach definition: a joint, often formal effort where distinct parties and unique roles, resources together in a coordinated way to achieve a common agenda. Focus: deep integration with different entities. Example: organizations, government, businesses coordinated their unique activities and expertise. Nature: bottom up, allowing individuals to contribute to their own unique insights and perspectives, which are then pooled. Example: a community-wide initiative to reduce litter, where many individuals commit to cleaning specific areas in their own way. It's just repeating the same thing, bruh. I guess. I don't know. I read through all of that and I still don't see the reason. Sometimes when I read through these things, it's hard to see it's really hard to understand how, like, maybe I don't see how any of this would help me write the actual paper. It's a bit discouraging to understand that GPT can just do all of this if I just imported it right. And if I can just import all of this information and get it to produce me something that is desired by the teacher or the college director, then there'd be no need for me to read through any of this. I just have to make sure it has no AI, and then it's properly punctuated and has grammar. I don't know why I'm reading through this when I could just do that. That's the discouraging thing, to be honest. That's the smarter thing I could have do than read through the next 5 pages. That's discouraging. But I just can't see a workaround to that. There's really no need for me to do any of this. Okay, when developing program statement goals are the desired outcomes that desire what your program is striving to achieve. Yeah, I don't understand this statement. It looks like it's just repeating itself. Goals are the desired outcomes, okay? Outcomes are, okay, that describe what your program is striving to achieve. So your program is led by a goal, okay? There are several options that may be used to develop and to articulate program statement goals, such as using the actual language set out in Children Care and Early Years Act. It's just like, it's like, I know it's just a point based thing, but it's, I get no information here. They just sum up every document. At least link the document so I can read that document too. It's just like I'm going through the stuff and I'm just getting vague language because there's no actual like bottom line reference to which I can go to like actually clarify everything. Unless I should look up every single word, which is not, I'm not against, but I'm not for. Using one or more goals for children set for children using one or more goal one or using one or more of the goals for children set out under the four foundations from HDLH: belonging, well-being, engagement, expression. Setting out your own goals in your own words. Sometimes it's hard to just should not think just not think I just can use the shortcut. I could just, instead of just wondering what these documents are, I can search what these documents are, plug it all into AI, and get some sort of response. But I think I care. I care about knowing, but I feel as though I'm not getting any. I'm not knowing much. It's just PowerPoints. There's not actual statements or explanation of what should be done. It's like someone came up, like someone just said, let me just put as much PowerPoints as I can. Well, let me not give a reference, an example, have referees to tell me that maybe I'm doing something wrong. It's like someone just plugged every idea they had in the PowerPoints. But I wish they gave an actual example. I wish they showed a picture of what they want me to do and how I can use goals, how I can use different approaches. Maybe that's like being spoon fed, but it's much more motivating to think that maybe that's what I can do instead of just doing a vague interpretation of what these points are. I can't. At the end of the day, I'm not going to remember all of this. I can't even remember the first part of the collaborative, how conversations with others, licensed caregivers. Like, of course, it's gonna just be, what if I don't know any licensed care programs? What should I do then? Uh, Learn with communities to get. What if I don't know any communities? Like, engage in an intentional conversation about what is happening or what you want to happen in your program. Why would I be talking about someone about some program that I don't even fully understand? Like, you're talking about some hypothetical program that doesn't yet exist. You haven't shown me what this program should look like. You've given me a large, like, maybe I'm complaining too much, but it just shows that I'm a bit frustrated. Using one or more of the goals for children is set out on the four foundations. Another vague claim, just vagueness. Set out on your own goal. Set out your goals in your own words. When developing program statements, approaches describe what actions will be. Of course, I know what approaches mean. I don't know why I'm getting a little bit frustrated. It's because it's like it's just telling me basic things. Like you're trying to explain terminology, but what's the point of explaining terminology? It's just like you're deviating from what the assignment is. Unless this, like, who even, you called it, this thing is called a lesson. Earl 46 module 1. But how can a module 1 just be a compilation of points? Why is nothing explained? I feel like this is what they want me to do, just plug it all in ChatGPT, because it already has everything set out. Maybe all they want me to do is read through it, and maybe I'll catch a point to which it's gonna say, ChatGPT, if somebody plug this in, like it's gonna be embedded into the text, like, oh, say this instead, so I can figure out that they did use it. This is just, if you wanted someone to do an assignment, I feel the best thing you could do is actually take the assignment template, do an example. However, Do what you want from the example. The example doesn't have to be exact reflection, but that shows like, hey, this is how you go about doing the thing. So maybe when you're planning your own actual program, I don't want you to be speculating on how to do something like this or that. I want you to actually produce what's expected in the workforce. I just don't see, even if people copy off the program, at least they have some sort of proper reference. And especially since there's a high grade tied to everything, I just, but these points are just vague garbage. I'm not even gonna lie. These points are just describing regular terminology. Some terminology used in this paper are just confusing. What's a collective collaboration of collectives? What does that mean? I don't think that makes it much sense. At least, I think it makes sense. I'm just frustrated. Using one or more goals. I like. I need to shut up. Okay. Using one or more goals for children set out under the four foundations. Set out your own goals in your own words. Oh my God. What? I'm gonna use somebody else's words. Like what do you? Of course I'm gonna. Of course I'm not gonna plagiarize people. What? When you develop program statement, when developing program statement approaches describe what actions will be put in place to achieve the program statement goals. What? Approaches describe what actions will be put in place to achieve the program statement goals. Am I losing brain cells? Because I can't understand what this is saying. Approaches describe an approach. Okay. Approach is when you do something. Describe what action will be put in place. Okay, so approach just mean action of some sort or some sort of description of something to achieve program. Okay, I understand. At least so dumb, bro. They should describe what staff, student, volunteers, providers, and other persons who interact with children in the program do to achieve these goals. Their approach should be observable for educators, families, ministry staff, and should be clear connected to achieving the program statement goals. Consider the I keep pedagogical approaches to outlined in HDL, which provides the meaning. This is just GPT work, bruh. I already checked to see if this was created by ChatGPT. Surprisingly, a human being sat down and wrote all of this, which provides the meaning to working towards achieving the goals for children. Granted, in research, theory, practice, these approaches may include, but are not limited to, responsive relationships, learning through explanation or play, educators as co-learners, environment as third teachers, pedagogical documentation, reflective practices, and collaborative inquiry. After developing your program statement, treat the program statement as a living document that evolves with the program as learning and understanding expand, processing changes, and families and children's that respond to changing communities and programs. Treat the program statement like a living document. The what's the living document that evolves with the program? Treat the program treat the program statement. So program statement. I need to start highlighting. I think why I'm getting confused is because they're definitely making a point. It's just that I'm not listening. It's as simple. It looks like I'm being stubborn. Program statement is different from the program. So what's the program statement? Consider pedagogical approaches outlined in HDLH, which provides the meaning and work towards achieving the goals for children, grounded in research theory practices. So these are program statements from what I'm getting at. I might be completely wrong. No, I already have. Never mind. I can just. Where's the go back button? It should be an obvious go back button. Everything's just going downhill. Where's the go back button? Come on, create help. Tools. Oh, undo. That's a really strange place to put the button, but okay. Okay, then I'll get the text. Where's the text button? This? Um, okay. I should say statements with an S. Well, that's fine. I don't even know if these are program statements. Consider logical approaches. Approaches describe goals. They should describe what stuff. Oh my god. I need to speak. Okay. Approaches. Okay. Let's break this down. And stop. I need to stop complaining. Approaches. Okay, understand what an approach is. Describes what actions will be put in place to achieve the program statement. Okay. Come on, stop it. My mouse is freaking out. I do have, but I wish the mouse pad that would work. Okay. So it all converges an action and achieve. So the approaches list out what actions the approaches. The approaches have actions are actions based in some sense. Program statement goals. They should describe what staff, students, volunteers, providers, and other people who interact with children in the program do to achieve the goals. These are the goals. The goals. Okay. The approach should be. I'm gonna speed through this. I'm wasting my time, bro. I'm wasting my time on something I know I'm not gonna even remember. None of this even makes sense. None of this is explanatory. All of it's just point based. Points, points, points. Treat the program statement as a living document. I don't even know what that means. What's a living document? Ongoing document? What's an ongoing document? Dude. Okay, all right. Search Jarvis. I need to know what a living document is a dynamic, evolving document that is continually updated and revised to reflect new information. Okay. Changing circumstances or different needs. Unlike a static document that is fixed and unchanging, once created, common examples include online and encyclopedias like Wikipedia, legal agreements that are frequently updated, and business plans that adapt to market shifts. Thank you. Okay, I understand what this means. So, living document that evolve. Wait, if living document quite literally means something or a document that evolves or changes or shifts or updates, then what does the need for evolve here? Aren't you just restating the same thing? Okay. A living document, which just quite literally, as I just read, means an evolving document. A non-static document that is not fixed as it can be updated. But this document, this living document, evolves with the program. I feel like this could have just been more longer and more explanatory, right? It could have just said, be this. Create a this is how I'd write. If I had to write this, I know I'm not the best writer. I'd write it like this. Treat the program statement as a document that is updated regularly. This document that is updated regularly will contain your program. And this program is always going to be evolving to address other needs as learning and understanding expands and processes change, and families and children change, and that responds to there has to be a mistake right there. Ain't no way that's not a mistake. Response. Are we serious? That should be response. I'm so correct. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'd rewrite the whole top of this. The whole top of this point needs to be rewritten. It's almost nonsensical, at least to me. It's confusing as heck because you're using just a jargon right here. Because I didn't know what living document was. Now I know it's just non-static document that gets updated regularly. And then you mean that evolves with the program. No, I have to figure out what living document is, and I have to understand what you mean by evolve with the program. How does a living document evolve with the program? If the living document isn't just a part of the program too, it's not, they're just separate things. Oh my God. So the program statements, they probably just mean the program statement differs from the program. Bro, what? I'm gonna just, you know what? I'm gonna go good old ChatGPT. I need to understand what. Okay, give me the instant mode. Does the microphone for ChatGPT work? No, it doesn't. I wish I could just speak it out. Is the program statement and the program. I'm such a slow typer. And the program the same. Okay, now I just need to go to document, plug it in. Let's see what it says. Not exactly. The program statement and the program are related but not the same thing. Program statement, a written document that every licensed child care center must develop. It explains the philosophy, goal, and approaches of the program. Oh my God, that is so much. That is like, that bring tears to my eyes. That is so much more, that's so much, that's a better explanation. That makes so much more sense. I was out here thinking, like, I was getting just confused. It explains it must be consistent with how does learning happen, HDLH, and outline how the certain center will support children's health, well-being, learning, and development. So it's an outline of the philosophical approaches, philosophy, goals, and approaches of the program, and a written document. That's okay. Of course, it's going to be licensed child care center must develop. Let's say, so, okay, I understand. It's considered a living document, meaning it should be reviewed and updated regularly as the program and community changes. So the outline that outlines the philosophy, goals, and approaches of the program. And that is consistent with the HDLH, or how does learning happen document. That outline changes and adjusts to the program and community change. So what the program is the day-to-day implementation of what is in the program statement. So it's just the expanded outline to the specific, like, it's basically the specifics of what is outlined. So in some papers, research papers, they have the abstract. The abstract is just a condensed or summary of all that stuff, but the actual paper expands on all the terms, what's the main point of the paper, all that stuff. So I get the program statement is like the abstract. To be specific, it's the outline of the philosophies, approaches, and goals, and this is consistent with the HDLH, how does learning happen document, and the program itself just specifies all of what happens in the outline, and the program changes depending on the day-to-day implementation. So another day might come with different problems, and that might change what's inside the program itself. And because there's a change in the program itself, there's going to be change in the outline. Probably, maybe, most likely. It wouldn't be a full change of the outline, because if you're going by the same philosophy, it should be the ideological framework to which you follow. Unless there's a different approach within the ideology to which is specified upon by other people, or maybe by yourself, if you're very fluent on or understanding of the philosophy you're going by, then it's not necessarily a change in philosophy of any sorts, but a more so way of solving the problems in your philosophy, if that makes any sense at all. I think it does make sense. If you don't understand if that makes sense, then it's on you. Discuss and reflect on the written goals and approaches on a regular basis with these groups to ensure they remain current and relevant, and that the program statement continues to reflect the program as it may change and evolve over time. Okay, parent handbook. Every licensee, I don't know, must have a parent handbook that includes the service offered, the age category service, the time of the service are offered and holiday observed, the fee or of the service, activities off. I'm just gonna lie down and rest. Activities off the premises. Dog, this don't make no damn sense. Activities off the premises. Dude, I understand what premises is, but this is just a premise. This is just a placeholder for something I don't know. Okay, anyways, information about the supervision of volunteers and students, waiting list policies and procedures. Policies and procedures for how parents' issues and concerns will be addressed. A copy of the program statement, a list of prohibited practices, information about the emergency management policies and procedures, on how parents will be notified if an emergency occurs. Okay, this is just basics. I hope they're not asking me to make any of this, okay? Maybe I should have read the assignment. I didn't read the assignment. I did read the assignment. It was so short though. All prospective parents and parent of children. Oh, this is where like my problem is with some, like, whoever wrote this reminds me of Zizek. Instead of large philosophical jargon that no one understands except if you are knee deep into Lacan, it's just gonna be big words that no like it's like someone try to send it in a chat GPT checker to make sure, like, switch around the words, spin botted is spin botted to death, because they're trying to get words that, yes, it connects prospective, meaning not yet but wants to be, but this could just be described as exactly what I said. Not yet but want to be parents and actual parents of children. I swear, just give me the job of rewriting this whole paper and I do it with so much more like beauty. I'd make each of my words sensible. If you're reading through this, you're gonna have a great time because you're not struggling to understand. I'll actually explain what's happening inside of the paper, and I don't need you to run around asking GPT and Google for what some parts mean, because some parts are so vaguely written down. Anyways, sure. All prospective parents and parents of children receiving care shall have access to the parent handbook, either in hard copy or e-version. You could just say online version. Why do we need to be so extra with e-version? Come on, man. If I didn't have the context clue of hard copy, let alone what a hard copy is, because don't we have paper copies? Paper book copies, like, why we need all of this extra stuff? Okay. Parents must be informed when any revisions are made to the parent handbook. Parent handbooks can be, okay, I guess parent handbooks go ahead with, like, of course there's going to be revisions. What am I talking about? Of course there's going to be revisions because of, What am I talking about? Policies and procedures. Every licensee shall ensure that all required policies and procedures and individuated plans are implemented at each child care center and at each premises. Bro, I am confused. What they mean by are they saying there needs to be truth claims? That's what do you mean by premises? Our premises, like the surrounding area, and at each premises where a licensed home childcare is provided. Oh, they mean location wise. Man, I was getting confused. Playground safety policy. The playground safety policy must describe how the policy procedure and process links to the four foundations of HDLH and include the following: conduct daily month annual playground inspection plan on how issues or problems identified in inspection will be addressed, maintain a playground repair log. Ooh, this is good. I think we need some of this where I'm from. There's a lot of things that need to be repaired. But if we were out just a sole repair log, nothing would be in the book because nothing get repaired, in my opinion. Well, they did chuck a big fence, but they didn't even connect the fence or weld it to anything. Ensure the playground materials are available, accessible, provided in numbers to serve the licensed capacity and maintained in a safe condition and good state of repair. I mean, providing numbers, I don't know what you mean. Ensure that there's adequate storage for play material. Ensure outdoor places are fenced at 4 to... Ain't nobody listening to this, okay? Ensure outdoor spaces are fenced to a minimum of 4 feet to 1.2 meters, and fences are furnished with one or more gates that are securely closed at all. Bro, this is what I said a second ago. The place where I'm at, the gates are always open because the gates are broken. The gates are broken. The gates are broken. Okay? The gates are... Dude, we'd be failing half of these policies. Maintain maximum capacity of 64. Oh my God. Yeah, we are breaking this one too. 64, more like 100. Okay? Or lower maximum based on the playground size. Okay, I understand now. Separate infants and toddler groups from other children. Meet minimum outdoor time requirements. Time requirements? What do you mean time requirements? I choose when I go out, bruh. Weather permitting. If it's foggy, if it's raining, if it's a thunderstorm outside, we better go to the playground. I'm just kidding. I think when it's a thunderstorm and other things, school usually doesn't keep. But when it does happen, it's always some scenery. It's always something that comes with a bit of joy. It's a bit nice. I remember when the lightning would strike when you're in the classroom and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna get die. And at the end of the day, it just added to that aesthetics at the time that's felt nostalgic in hindsight to whatever feelings you had at the moment. Okay, ensure playground design so staff can maintain constant supervision of children. This is hard as well because there's holes. I just kissed the mic, bro. There's holes under the fences. Okay, ensure children are supervised at all times. Hey, okay. Have attendance records, emergency medication, Hey, I ain't got none of this. If somebody died, they just hey crazy. Make allergy list available in the playground. Create accident reports and provide them to parents. Bro, what am I... Dude, my heart just dropped for a moment. I thought it said anencephalic. But it's saying... I don't know what this is. I thought it said anencephalic. I was like, when are we talking... When did anencephaly come into this? Google, what is anencephalic? Anencephalax. causes the immune system to release a flood of chemicals that cause you to go into shock. Blood pressure drops suddenly, and airway narrows, blocking breathing. Signs and symptoms include rapid weak pulse, and skin rashes, and nausea. Okay, the anesthetic. I heard no. I heard this word before. I can't. I just because I can't pronounce it. Anecephalic shock. I've heard that before. He's going into shock. In one of those shows, the anecephalic policy must utilize best practices that support your program in preventing and responding to an anecephalic reaction and include the following: a strategy to reduce risk and exposure to anecephalic causative agents. Are we bro, causative agents? I understand things that cause, okay? Things that cause, bro. You listen. You are writing a paper for basically what to give parents and children, or whatever. You do not need to be using these words, okay? You are not, whoever wrote this, you are not that guy, okay? You are just writing a regular old document. You don't need to be talking about causative agents. You are not that person. Shame on you. Stone them. Stone the author, okay? I'm just kidding. That's terrible. I wouldn't even initiate that. A communication plan to disseminate this life-threatening allergies, including anesthetic, blah, 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 sanitary, blah, 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 blah. You should, I'm just gonna start you different sleep supervision. You're going to tell them to sign trials the sleep to children just in a manner consistent with recommendation back their back seats. So that's licensed home providers, how to identify serious occurrences. These are just things you should add. You should tell medication policy. Criminal reference check. Okay, I think I get it. Yeah, I get it. Now I need to actually find the assignment. Ain't that the whole point? This finally confronting the big boss. I'm going to switch to Obsidian. That way I can choreograph. You see, I'm using big words myself. I can plan this out in more of a more sensible way. To Obsidian I go. Niche Obsidian. Create a new canvas. Canvas created and all is fine. Now I need to open the filters, open the floodgates. Obsidian, turn that on, turn this off. Now put that at full screen and we can get into some fights, some tussles. Oof. Okay. And I'm just going to import that file. I'll make a new file for this. I'll just do a notepad. Sometimes it's just pointless. Download in plain text. Move over to... There you go. It ain't even activating. Because it's not a PDF. Okay. What did I... Is that showing up on screen? For the meantime, I'll delete this. Just create a box. Just paste this inside. Oh, it works. That's nice. Zoom out. Okay, I need to make this box smaller. Read in chapter 8 in the text, module 1 in the course notes. 4.6 administration create a policy procedure. Purpose of this assignment is to introduce students to the process of creating a policy. Instead, we'll create a policy and procedure for the following: sleep supervision. Oh, we went through this, but I just skipped past it. I thought that I didn't need to read any of it. Now it's all coming back to bite me. I literally just saw it. It was just a part of the sleeping thing. Right here. I can make this skinnier. Okay. Boom. I'ma zoom in. It was somewhere here. I don't know why they call it chapters though. I don't even know if this is the proper material. Waiting list policy, parents issuing concerns, criminal references, staff training and policies, and development policy, program policy, medication, sanitary, parent handbook. It's, this is somewhere out here. I just zoom in on the text. Sleep supervision. It's right here. I'm confused why they said chapter 8. Maybe there's a book for the course. Again, unless they're counting these as chapters, which is insane. There's no way they're counting this as chapters. 1. If it says 8, I'm going to lose my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on to something. I got the proof. Okay. Zoom out. So create a policy and procedure. The aim and purpose of managing students to the process of creating a process or procedure. The student will create a process and procedure for the following: sleep supervision. Okay. There you go. It's your sleep supervision. Yeah, I'll make this shorter. What else? They're just gonna test me on my grammar. Introduce students to the process of creating policies. The team will create a policy and procedure for the following. I think right now, so this is good. I think I understand really everything. So sleep I think since it's right there, I'll just read through it. Sleep supervision. The sleep supervision policy must include the following. Children younger than 12 months will be assigned to individual cots and cribs. You must be in your cribs, okay? You must be in your cribs, or else you'll face the wrath. I have way too much of books. That's a flex, by the way. I have like 5 books. Some people have whole libraries of books. I used to watch TikToks where people had like a whole library of books. Parents will be consulted about children's sleep arrangement at the time the child is enrolled, and at any time children such transition between rooms and programs. Next point. Parents of children younger than 12 months will be advised that if children recommended and placed between the document advise that children will be placed to sleep in a manner consistent with recommendations, placed on their backs to sleep. Wait. People sleep on their backs? I'm joking. Set out in the document, join statement on safe sleep, preventing sudden death in Canada. There's a whole document on it. I'm a import that document too, just for the extra details. Next one is that the observance of any significant changes in the child's sleep pattern or behavior during sleep will be communicated to parents. Details regarding the performance of direct visual checks, including the frequency and documentation. Okay, so this I think this is gonna be easy assignment. I just don't want to mess up. Okay, that's basically it. But I have more stuff. I have more stuff to download. Something on Discord to check. Keep getting locked out. Okay. I guess I gotta write this. So the references I'll use each, of course, the H. How does learning happen paper? It's gonna be joint statement of safe sleep. And last one's gonna be the thing itself. Now I just need to find that document. I'll read through the document too. Save. Bring out back here. Go back. I think these are just more important stuff. They got document downloads. Wrong one, wrong one. What is this called? It's HP. I'll use the everything binder. HP. What is it called? HP 15. It looks like a short read. Joint statement on safe sleep, preventing sudden infant deaths in Canada. Introduction. I'm zooming in. It's a bit to the side. This seems like a short paper. The Public Health Agency of Canada recognizes sudden infant death syndrome. What? And other infant deaths that occur during sleep as major public health concerns. The Joint Statement of Safe Sleep Preventing Sudden Infant Deaths in Canada is a part of the Government of Canada's continuing commitment to raise awareness of sudden infant deaths and safe sleeping environments. The purpose of the statement is to provide health practitioners with current evidence-based information so they may offer parents and caregivers information and support to prevent deaths due to SIDS and unsafe sleeping practices in Canada. SIDS is defined as sudden death of an infant less than 1 year of age, which remains unexplained after a thorough case investigation, including the performance of a complete autopsy. Bro, what? An explanation examination of death scene, and review of clinical history. Current medical and scientific evidence explains SID as a multifactorial disorder arising from a combination of genetic, metabolic, and environmental factors. Terms such as sudden unexplained infant death, SUID, and sudden unexplained death in infancy, SUDI, have emerged in an attempt to group all infant deaths possibly related to infant sleep environment. Definition of these terms have not been consistent enough to make them universally acceptable. The actual cases of cause SIDs is unknown. In 2004, SIDs accounted for 5% of all infant deaths. That's bad to laugh at. Don't laugh. 0 to 1 of age and 17.2 of post neonatal deaths, 28 to 1 year of age. SID can occur at any time during the first year of life, but peaks between 2 and 4 months, with fewer SID deaths occurring after 6 months. Infants who are male, premature, or low birth weight, as well as infants. Okay, scroll up. Socioeconomical disadvantaged and Aboriginal population have a higher incidence of SIDS. That's sad. Further research is necessary to increase our understanding of biological causes and mechanisms that predispose some infants to sudden infant deaths relative to non-affected infants in seemingly comparable circumstances. Large-scale epidemiological studies over the last 2 decades have increased our understanding of SIDS and identified certain modifiable risk factors. The most important modifiable risk factor for SIDS are infants sleeping in the prone position. Interesting. I wish I could highlight this. Most important modifiable risk. Copy as a quote. I'll paste in. Wrong one. Come on, man. There you go. Okay. Bro, this document ain't even 4 pages. It's like 3. It's really short. In 1993, the government of Canada, along with other international organizations recommended that infants be placed on their back to sleep, and in 1990 reinforced the message by launching the Back to Sleep campaign. The rate of SID has been declining since 1980, but between 1999 and 2004, Canada observed a 50% decrease in the rate of SIDs. The decline may be attributable in part to changes in parental behavior, such as placing infants on their back to sleep and decreasing maternal smoking during pregnancy. Okay. Other causes of death that occur while an infant is sleeping may be difficult to distinguish from SIDS. While studies studying SIDS, researchers have identified additional risk factors in the infant sleeping environment that may actually contribute not only to SIDS but death from unintentional suffocation due to overlaying or entrapment. What does that mean? So some of them not only may contribute not only to SIDS but by suffocation. Okay, unintentional suffocation due to overlaying or entrapment. So I guess they get trapped while sleeping. I guess. I don't know. They should clarify that. Factors associated with unsafe. Oh, I see. I see. I should just read this. Factors associated with unsafe sleeping environments, including infants sharing a sleeping service with an adult or a child, and the presence of soft. So I guess the soft bedding can cause suffocation and maybe getting trapped in between, or getting. Oh, wait. Maybe they mean the infant got crushed by another person who sleep next to them. That's insane. Imagine going out like that. That's crazy. The joint statement on safe sleeping preventing sudden infant deaths in Canada has been developed in collaboration with North American experts in the field of sudden infant deaths. Imagine being an expert in such a very unique infant death. What? Sudden infant deaths caused by sleeping. Okay. Foundation for the study. There's a foundation for the infant deaths. Okay. Well, it's not too far fetched. The Canadian Institute of Child Care, Health Canada. This is just self glaze. I'm gonna just skip past this. Okay. How do I go to the side? Do I just need to zoom out? There you go. Principles of safe sleep and modifiable risk factors. Infants placed on their backs to sleep for every sleep have reduced the risk of SIDS. Prone and lateral sleeping position are linked to increased rates of SIDS, even for infants who regurgitate. What is regurgitate? What is vomit? Regurgitate. Okay. Infants who normally sleep on their backs are then placed to sleep on their stomach are at a particularly high risk. This reinforces the importance to consistently place infants on their backs to sleep at home, in child care settings, and when traveling. Sleeping positioners or any other infant sleeping positions but should not be used as they pose a risk to suffocation. Once the infants are able to roll from their back to their stomach or side, it is not necessary to reposition them onto their backs. Once infants are able to roll from their backs to their stomachs or sides, it is necessary to reposition them onto their backs. So I guess if they see the kids sleeping and maybe you already placed them on their back initially and they just start rolling and now they're on their stomach, they're just saying you don't have to roll them back on their back. Most likely if they're already capable of rolling, something like that. Maybe they won't suffocate themselves. That sounds like I'm blaming the kids. What? Infants will benefit from a supervised tummy time when they are awake several times every day to counteract any evidence of regular back sleeping on muscle development or any chance of developing plagioclophia. I'm looking that up. That ain't a real world. That ain't a real world word. Okay, that ain't no real world. Stop saying word. I swear. Sometimes my I can't pronounce stuff, but it holy macaroni. Why did they do this head back, man? Dang. My God. Am I seeing I'll show you what I just saw. What that big word was this? Zoom out. Bro. Oh my God. What? That's the first thing I saw. For plagifoliocosi. What is that? I'll just write the name here. Plagiophilia. It's nothing to laugh at. But imagine, just because someone... Let me read that up again, because I might be wrong. Or is it right here? Imagine Times away. Yeah. Tummy time. What is? I don't know what supervised tummy time is. What's supervised tummy time? I should know this for newborns. Oh, when they're laid on their tummy, the weight of the body rests in this area. The body weight rests on the upper body. The head leans on the cheek. The arms are tucked in. I see. I see. Um, Magic of tummy time. Zoom in. Open in a new tab. The magic of tummy time. Before you start, baby are awake and alert using firm surfaces. The baby should be supervised at all time. The back posture strength, skeletal alignment, help to develop muscle on crawling, stretch development, hips muscle, help tummy issues, gas and constipation, hands formulating hand arch to find motor skills, arm strengths for. I ain't even showing you. I'll go back. Come on, paste. So basically, what I'm seeing right now is this. So it's going to be eyes, visual, motor development, depth perception, head. I guess this is what we're interested in. Sensory integration, cognitive development, environmental awareness, towel drying. I don't really. I think you're talking about the benefits, but I ain't even explain what tummy time is. All I know is that they put them on their tummy and tuck their arms in and put their head on their cheek. Put their cheek on one side. I'll show you. Right here. This is what I'm seeing for what tummy time looks like. I guess their head's not pressed against or nothing. Another image I'm seeing is this. I'll just keep finding more references from. I'll just look up what it means, man. I can't. Tummy time is essential. This is what AI is saying. Tummy time is essential for newborns. Develop strength and motor skills. Blah blah blah. Start early. Begin tummy time sessions. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. Benefit helps prevent flat spots on the head. Is crucial for developing muscles needed for rolling, sitting, and crawling. Oh, it's for just like what it said about. Oh, okay. I remember. Time and so when it says, "Oh, don't reposition the back on its back," when it already knows to roll, but tummy time's also learning, teaching them how to roll, so it kind of makes sense. Progression: aim for 1 hour of tummy time daily. Use toys to make noise to encourage the baby to look up and push up during tummy time. I'm gonna read an article. Yeah, just clean article. Okay, here's an article on it. I'm just gonna read the first introduction because it just explains what it is without getting into the fancy stuff. What is tummy time? Tummy time is as simple as putting a baby or infant on their tummy for short times of time every day to help them train them. Explained by pediatrician Matthew Badgett, MD. When your baby is very young, tummy time is most about your baby learning to lift their head off the ground, which builds neck strength. Ooh, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has a 30-inch neck. Yeah, I come on. I have a 15-inch neck. Yeah, it's average. Average neck size. As they get, I don't even know if neck size equates to neck strength, okay? As they get older, it helps build muscle strength, explore the world around them, and becomes fun playtime too. Importantly, tummy time must be done uh, on a firm surface like floor mat or pack and play. Supervised all time. Um, I'm good. I don't really care to know what the benefits are. Just need to know what tummy time is. So, back to the article. We're almost finished. Well, I'm almost finished. I'm assuming people are watching this, but no one's gonna watch it, so it's fine. In a way, that's life. Um, Infants will benefit from supervised tummy time when they are awake several times every day to counteract any effect of regular back sleeping on muscle development or the chance of developing, I'm not pronouncing that, plagiocephaly, commonly referred to as flawed head. Preventing exposure to tobacco smoke before and after birth reduces the risk of SIDS. Maternal smoking during pregnancy is an important risk factor for SIDS. The more a woman smokes during pregnancy, the higher the risk of sudden infancy death syndrome. I'm just going to say that. It sounds more serious. Women, it is serious. It is serious. What am I talking about? Who reduce the amount of cigarettes smoked during pregnancy reduce this risk of SIDS for their infants. Women who stop smoking can further reduce the risk. It is estimated that 1/3 of all SIDS deaths could be prevented if maternal smoking was eliminated. Infants who are exposed to secondhand smoke after birth are also at a greater risk of SIDS, and the risk increases with the level of exposure. The safest place for an infant to sleep is in a crib or cradle or bassinet that meets current Canadian regulations. When infants sleep on surfaces that are not designed for them, such as adult beds, sofas, and armchairs, they're more likely to become trapped and suffocate. Why am I need to make this interesting for myself. So it's at the ridicule. I'll just kidding. I see, okay. In particular, when the surface is shared with another adult, other than firm mattresses and felted sheet. There is no need for an extra item in a crib, cradle, or bassinet. Soft bedding, such as pillows, quilts, and comforters, as well as bumper paddles, increase the risk of suffocation. Overheating is a factor for SIDS. Infants are safest when placed in sleep in filtered one-piece sleeper wear that is comfortable at a room temperature and does not cause them to overheat. Infants do not require additional blankets as infants' movements may cause their head to become completely covered and cause them to get overheat. If a blanket is needed, infants are safest with a thin, lightweight, breathable blanket. Strollers, swings, bouncers, and car seats are intended for infant sleep. When sleeping in sit-in position, an infant's head can fall forward and then airway can be constricted. This risk reinforces the importance to move an infant to a crib, cradle, or bassinet to sleep, or when the destination is reached. Stroller, swing, bouncers, or seats are not intended for infant sleep. Who's leaving their kid in a swing to sleep? I can understand a stroller, a car seat. Infants who share a room with a parent or caregiver have a lower risk of SIDS. Room sharing referred to as sleeping arrangement where an infant's crib, cradle, basin is placed in the same room and the other parent's caregiver bed. Infants who share a room have a lower risk of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, and will benefit from room sharing for the first 6 months during the period of time during risk of SIDS is highest. Room sharing facilities, breastfeeding, and frequent contact with infants at night. Bed sharing described a sleeping arrangement where an infant shares a bed first with adult. Bed sharing describes sleeping arrangement where an infant shares sleeping services as an adult bed, sofa, armchairs with an adult, another child. Sharing a sleeping service increases the risk of SIDS, and the risk is particularly high for infants less than 4 months of age. Sharing a sleeping service with an infant also increases the risk of entrapment, overheating, overlaying, suffocation. The risk of SIDS, the unintentional death that occur during sleep, increases further when an infant shares a sleeping service with a parent or caregiver who smokes, has consumed alcohol, is under the influence of sedating drugs, or is overly tired. Imagine I just get overly tired one day and just crush my infant because I roll over. The term co-sleeping can refer to a range of sleeping practices including both bed and room sharing. Definitions of this term are not consistent enough to make it universally acceptable. Breastfeeding provides a protective effect for SIDS, and the breastfeeding for any duration provides a protective effect for SIDS. And exclusive breastfeeding offers greater protection. It is estimated that exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months during period risk by the period of time the risk of SIDS is highest may reduce the risk of SIDS by up to 50%. Successful breastfeeding is not dependent on sharing a sleeping service. However, for women who may bring their infant into bed to breastfeed, the risk of SIDS is not increased when the infant is placed back to sleep in a cradle bassinet. Pacifiers appear to provide a protective effect for SIDS. No solid evidence demonstrates that pacifiers use impairs breastfeeding. However, delaying the introduction of a pacifier is best left until breastfeeding is well established. Infants who accept pacifiers should have one consistently wherever they sleep. However, a pacifier is not required to be reinserted if expelled during sleep. Okay, that's it. We go to the assignment. What does the assignment say? This is what it says. Sleep supervision. Oh, wrong, wrong on. Not this. Ain't no assignment. This is 30% of the grade. Reading chapter 8 in the text, module 1. To create a policy and procedure. The purpose of this assignment to introduce the students to the process of creating policy and procedure. The procedure will create policy and procedure for the following: sleep. Okay, this seems easy. I need to take a break though. My voice is killing me. Been at this for an hour.